not directly related to Hilchos Beis HaBchira, but it's something that I have prepared. So there's the Gemara in Masechta Megillah. The Gemara discusses over there a city called Ekron. Ekron was, the Gemara identifies the city of Ekron as Kesari Bas Edom. Kesari is, you call it Kesarin, what do they call it? Caesarea in English. L'chatchila was part of Plishtim, then later became part of Eretz Yisrael. So the pasuk, the city of Ekron, there's a pasuk that says like this. It says, "V'asiraisi damav mipiv," I will remove its blood from its mouth. V'shikutzav mibein shinov, the disgusting thing between its teeth. V'nishar gam hu lelikenu, and this will also remain to the Eibishter. V'hoya ka'aluf b'Yehuda, will be like a aluf. Aluf could mean like a minister, an important person in Yehuda. V'ekron ki Yevusi, and Ekron will be like Yevusi. Now, the pasuk is talking about the city of Tzoir. Tzoir, Rashi says, is Roish LaEdom, is the main, setting of Edom. It's in, what do they call it? It's part of Lebanon today, no?
Sidon, Tzeir and Sidon, the city is the one next to the other. Sidon is still today called Sidon, I think.
That's the city where Chesachedem was conquered. That's what conquered it because Eibishter gave him schar.
Tzeir.
No,
Yeah.
he conquered Tzeir.
Yeah. Anyway,
because Tzeir didn't stick up for Yidden.
Rashi says that it was the Roish LaEdom, was the main city of Edom. Halafen, I don't know if it's part of Edom. I'm not.
Sidon is still today.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if this is the same.
Huh?
Yeah, Sidon is good. But Sur is
Rashi learns it's part of Edom, it seems. Rashi learns that it's part of Edom. It's part of Edom, probably a different
today,
side.
I think was Edom.
Edom was
Edom ruled that time, the whole.
yeah, okay, fine. Anyway, B'chalefen, so he said. Fine, so the pasuk is speaking about the downfall of Edom. It says, "V'asiresi damav mipiv," I will take away its blood from its mouth. The Gemara says, "Zu beis bamyar karye shalahem." It's the name of Avodah Zarah. V'shikutzav and bein chinav, it's a disgusting thing from its teeth. Zebes gali shalahem. It's the different names for Avodah Zarahs. So v'nisha gam hu lelikenu, this will also remain to the Eibishter. So he says, "Elu bati k'nesisu bati medrash sheb Edom." These are the shuls and the yeshivas that in Edom. For Hoyer, I'll soon explain piece by piece. Hoyer ka'aluf b'yuda v'ekrin ki Yevusi. It says it will be like a aluf yud and ekrin ki Yevusi. This is the main thing I wanted to focus on. So it says Elu tar is different in the schoy, you see exactly how you pronounce these words, but the way you have it over here is Elu Teratroyos Vikarkisoy Shabaedim Shalem Shansidin Sayid Lamed Ben Terel Rabin. These are their Teratroyos and Karkasios that in Edom, that the Sori Yehuda, the ministers of Yehuda, will teach Torah publicly there when Moshiach will come. Now, overall meaning of this pasuk, the pasuk is speaking about three separate things. First, the pasuk is speaking about the houses of Avodah Zarah. Idol worship that was in Edom. And the pasuk is saying that the houses of idol worship that are in Edom will be taken away. Beis Karya, Beis Gal, you don't want to get into the meaning of the words, but these are names referring to Avodah Zarah. The Nishar Gam Hu Lelikenu, and that will also remain to the Eibush, that is already a positive thing, will be used for Kedusha. So the Gemara says this refers to the shuls and Batim Medrashim and Yeshivas that are now in Edom, that when Mashiach will come, will be used with Eibush. What's the Chiddush will be used with Eibush? Also now it's used with Eibush. So one pshat is that the Gemara in Megillah itself says later on that when Mashiach will come, all the shuls on Batim Med, all the shuls and yeshivas will go into Eretz Yisrael, become joined to the Beis Hamikdash. Yeah. So V'nisha Gamul Elokeinu means that they will join the Beis Hamikdash. The other pshat is much deeper pshat l'chayra. V'nisha Gam Hul Elokeinu means that this also will remain to the Eibishter. What means this also? That also the shuls and yeshivas remain to the Eibishter. In addition to the Bati Avodah Zarah. In other words, V'nisha Gamul Elokeinu means not that V'nisha Gamul Elokeinu. There's two things. There's something, this V'nisha Gamhu, and this will also remain to the Eibishter. What's the also? Meaning that the direct thing that's spoken about in the Pasuk is the Bati Knessis and Bati Medrashis, the shuls. But the houses of Avodah Zarah also remain left to the Eibishter. Okay, this is some of first Shalom like this. It doesn't seem though that this is the simple meaning of the Gemara, but you'll soon see why.
I don't remember what Gemara. I think there's one version.
Yeah, we'll get to the Emunot. Yeah. But one way of learning is some of first learn this word Nisha Gam Hul Elokeinu, that in other words that they also will turn into Bati Knessis and Bati Midrash. Fine. But then the Gemara says that it will be, then the Pasuk says a third thing. The Pasuk says that it will be like an Aleph in Yehuda, and Ekron will be like Yevusi. Yevusi is the city of Yerushalayim. The city of Yerushalayim originally was Yevusi. That was that David HaMelech, he had to buy the place of the Beis HaMikdash from the Yevusim. First there was a time they weren't able to conquer it, the ganze Meister, because Avram made a shua to Avimelech. Later became transformed to become the capital of the Yidden, the place where the Shekhinah rested. So what Pasuk says, when Moshiach will come, these places will be, Ekron will be like Yevusi. These cities of Edom will be like an Aleph Yehuda. So here, this third part of the Pasuk, the Gemara says that the Tiratriyois and Kekesoyis that are in Edom, the Yidden will learn Torah there. The Sarei Yehuda, the ministers of Yehuda, you could mean that Aleph could also mean the biggest Talmidei Chacham of Yehuda will teach Torah there publicly when Moshiach will come. What are these Tiratiyos and Kirkisoyos? So Taisus brings two opinions. First opinion Taisus brings is these are names of houses of idol worship. And Taisus explained that these names, Tiratiyos and Kirkisoyos, are names of discuss. Karkasiyos is the name of a bathroom in Arabic, and Tiratiyos, Taisus has some, I'm not exactly sure. It's a lotion of a cherp, a lotion of embarrassment. So we're calling the houses of idol worship with these names, with these derogatory terms, to show that we're referring to idol worship. What's going to happen when Mashiach will come? That they're going to be used for learning Torah B'Rabbim. So Taisus has a problem. Taisus' problem is, Taisus says, you can't say that in these discussing places you'll use to learn Torah. Definitely when Mashiach will come, they'll become desolate, they'll be bombed down, I don't know, whatever, they won't exist. Taisus therefore accepts the second shot. That what does it mean? It's not the places of idol worship itself, it's the places where idol worshippers used to get together, to do different things, they're public communal places, communal halls. They will be learned to teach Torah B'Rabbim. Many Mefarshim say this, that Tiratiyos, what you call it comes from the word theater, a theater, theatron, whatever you call it in Ivrit.
Ivrit kann sein, ist genommen
von ja, sicher genommen von nein, ja, sicher nicht.
The Circus heißt Circus.
Yeah, and Karkasios means circuses. It's an early Greek word, whatever it is, that became in all languages, more or less in a lot of languages, keep the same word. So the theaters and the circus centers, when Mashiach will come, people won't be into sports anymore. I can have Pasuk say that the whole world will be transformed to serve the Eibishter. They won't have interest in sports and circuses. Who cares if this guy is playing, that guy is playing? So what are they going to do with all the stadiums? It's a multi-billion-dollar business, okay? Whatever it is. What are they going to do with it? It's very posh. This will be a place that, people will pack in the hundreds and thousands, and they'll learn Torah from Sarei Yehuda. I guess Sarei Yehuda, the chief Talmidei Chacham, will teach you learn Torah over there. That's what Taisus learns Pshat. So that's why I mentioned earlier that in the previous part of the Gemara, and the Gemara is addressing the pasuk V'nisha Gamhol Elikenu, that also the shuls and the Batim Midrashis, that the shuls and Batim Midrashis will be the Eibichin, and Gamhu also that will be the Eibichin. Some people say it goes back in the Bati Avoid, houses of idol worship will also be Bati Knesses and Batim Midrashis, totally in the two Pshatim and Taisus. Depends. Taisus itself rejects this idea that the house of idol worship itself could be used for, when Moshiach will come, will be used for holy purposes. The first of all, I just want to discuss a little bit, a few points of it. First of all, the opinion that Taisus rejects, Taisus obviously rejects the opinion. In halacha itself, there's actually different opinions. I can't give you a whole overview. I didn't learn enough about it. But the different opinions in halacha, can you take a cloister, a house of worship for another religion and turn it into a shul? I mean, it would depend also. Let's say a mosque won't necessarily be the same thing like a cloister. Today, today. So the whole discussion, halacha, some poskim say you could, some poskim say you can't, and then there's a whole discussion, what's the reasons, and what happens if you modify the place, and if you do this, you do that. There's all different discussions, but this Taisus is very negeya la halacha, even bisman hazeh. I mean, Moshiach is also bisman hazeh, I'm saying even in Godless times, because the question, can you, al pi halacha, is it permissible to take these places and turn them into houses of what they sold? Taisus clearly rejects this notion. There are other opinions that say, the Magen Avram and others seem to hold that you could turn a house of idol worship through whatever it is that you need to do into a house of tefillah, of Beis Medrash or Beis Knesset. So according to those opinions, they can learn this Gemara like the opinion that Taisus rejects, that when Mashiach will come, the house of idol worship will be taken away. Not that they won't exist; they'll be used for holy purposes. There's another point. There's another opinion. Some Sfarim explain that they explain the reason of the opinion that Taisus rejects, and they say that even if you're going to say that Bisman Hazeh, that in this time, in Godless time, meaning you can't take you're going to hold like the opinions that say you cannot take a house of of another religion that worships another deity and turn it into a base knesset, a shul. But Mashiach will come and say it's not a problem. When Mashiach will come, since the whole mitzvahs of idol worship will be taken away. So then, I guess, now when there's still an existence of idol worship in the world, so it's not b'chavedict for the Eibishter, so to say, to take a house which is used for idol worship and to use it for the Eibishter. It's a mos. It's disgusting. Avodah Zarah, as the expression is used in halacha, that it's a davar mos. It's disgusting the Eibishter. When Mashiach comes, any remnant of Avodah Zarah, physically and spiritually, the whole concept will be totally eradicated from the world. So then, in such a type of setting, there's nothing wrong with taking such a place and using it for the Eibishter, because I guess one way you could explain it is that this place is not called anymore a place of Avodah Zarah. There's nothing left of it. In a certain sense, there's a deeper nukud here that, according to this opinion, you see much more din of hishapcha. According to this opinion, that you could take a place that was used for idol worship and use it for Batei Knesses or Batei Midrashis, you see a real transformation of taking. What are you going to do with it? You're going to leave it desolate. It's going to remain a churban. What benefit will Kedusha get out of it? But take those same places and obviously going to uproot Avodah Zarah and use them for Kedusha. So then it brings out the idea of Ishap in a very powerful sense. Now, I wanted to discuss a little bit this word with the theaters. First of all, who's going to be coming to learn Torah in these theaters and these stadiums? So, in very simple pshat, the pasuk is speaking about the country of Edom. The country of Edom, according to many opinions, is one of the three extra nations that will inherit when Mashiach will come. The borders of Eretz Yisrael are going to expand to include three more countries, Keni, Knizi, Kadmoni. So according to Rashi, according to the the many opinions on what exactly these three lands are, but the mainstream opinion is Edom, Moav, and Ammon, which are all technically, it's it's incorporated in modern day Jordan, more or less. These were countries that were on the other side of the Jordan, towards the south of Eretz Yisrael. There's the Eiver HaYarden, the territory of Sichon and Oy, Gad and Reuven, which was further up north. And then there was further down south on the other side of the Jordan, that was the countries of Edom, Moav, and Ammon. That was never conquered. That will be conquered when Mashiach will come. So it's going to become part of Eretz Yisrael. So it's going to be part of Eretz Yisrael. So it's the Yidden themselves are going to be sitting and learning Torah. In other words, it's not they'll conquer these places. They'll have all these big buildings over there. What are they going to do with it? So it'll be used for kedusha. So in other words, not pshat that the goyim will come to learn Torah in these stadiums, but the Yidden, they'll conquer the land. So instead of, they'll do a ishapcha, they'll transform these places, the places of teaching Torah. That's one way. There is another word. The Kloisenberg Rabbi said an interesting word over here. I guess it will work if you say that Edom is not Lavdafka, one of the cities, one of the countries that come part. So he says the goyim are going to come to learn Torah. It's an interesting thing. He said that today he really used it to explain the Yesh Mefarshim and the Tosfos, the opinion that Tosfos rejected. He says today people come every Sunday to their kirches to hear a sermon. When Mashiach will come, what are they going to do? They'll go in those same places. There'll be Yidden that will come and will teach them how to serve. So mainly he says to use a place of Avodah Zarah to make it mamish, a base knesses, a base medrash. That taka Tosfos rejects. But the opinion that Tosfos brought could be that they hold that it's, in other words, not going to be mamish, base knesses, base medrash. It should be a place that Yidden will teach goyim how to live upright lives to serve the Eibishter. So in that line of thought, I guess I think he's learning the same thing in the second part of the Gemara, that these theaters and the circus is also be used, that the goyim will come and learn Torah. It's an interesting angle of understanding the Gemara, that we're not discussing here that the places will be transformed. It also refers to the goyim themselves, that they will become transformed to learn Torah over there. There's another in few vertlach apich chassidus over here. There's one word. I mean, it's more ishbitz radzin chassidus. The way they're master in Yonam. He says interesting thing. He says there's in Klippa there's chesed and gevura. There's taiva and there's ritzicha. There's the chesed of Klippa is the face pleasures, desires. The gevura of Klippa is anger, murder, So he says like this. He says, this passage says, "Vasiroisi damav mipi v'shikutzav in bein shinav." I'll take away, literally damav means his blood, and it's a reference to Avodah Zarah. There's blood from his mouth, disgusting places from his teeth. He explains a very deep concept. He says the midah of ritzicha, the kas, the ritzicha that the goyim have, represents the midah of the klipa of gevura. That when Mashiach will come, will be completely eradicated. That is no good that could come out of it whatsoever. That has to be completely eradicated. It says the midah of chesed, teatriois and kikasoi, so they come to sports and circus. It's a taiva. It's not. I mean, even though unfortunately years ago the goyim, the theaters and Flaghagen people, the Romans used to have people against beasts and it was full of blood. But the at least the way he explains the theaters and the circuses, they represent not ritzicha, but time. The person wants to enjoy life. So he says that's taka klipa, but there's a certain nitzitz of that could be used in kedusha. So Mashiach will come. The dam of mipiv shikutzav mibein shina, the places of murder, that will be completely out. He says, I guess he's not referring necessarily to the physical circus, necessarily to the physical circus place or the theater, but to the concept behind it, the idea of the Yetzer Hara associated with it. That could be used out in kedusha to some degree. It's one interesting observation or cook on this whole thing. There's another word that's brought down in Chassidish Sfarim, the Kalas Yaakov, the Kutim Yaran also speaks about the same thing. He says, interesting thing, he says, V'nisha gam hu le'likenu. There's a lot of discussion b'chlal in Sifrei Kabbalah, the idea of V'nisha gam hu le'likenu, that this will also remain for the Eibishter, represents the nitzutz of Kedusha that's in Klippa. That the Klippa itself is eradicated, but the nitzutz of Kedusha that's there, V'nisha gam hu le'likenu, that will remain for the Eibishter. So he says, the Rashi Tevis, V'nisha gam hu le'likenu is Goyla. Godless. Vav nun gimel hey. No, what am I saying? Yeah, Vav gimel hey lamed. Yeah, Vav gimel. So it spells the letters gimel vav lamed hey Godless. So it says when you didn't go into Godless, they're mevader the nitzoitzes that are there. So what's the concept that the theaters and the circuses is no better place to learn Torah than the theaters and circuses? The word that it's bringing out that through Yidden going into Golos, what happened? What happened? It's off? What happened? It says that through the Yidden going into Golos, they elevate even the lowest places. So Memela, the avoid of Yidden in Golos elevates even the lowest places. So that's the concept that's brought out by the fact that these theaters and circus places will be used to teach Torah. It shows on the bitter of the lowest of the Ummahs. The Nisha, it's the same pasuk. I say it's the Nisha gam l'keinu v'hoyu kalaf yuda vekrin keyivusim.
The gam is.
V'nisha gam hula l'keinu. I'm saying this. It's Rosh Hashanah is goyla. It brings out what's the word V'nisha gam hula l'keinu. They take something else and sublime deeper for an Eibush and remains for a lakos. This also this remains for a lakos. Even something which you don't see bigoli. Yeah, even something which you don't see in the revealed way that is Kedusha. Also that, V'nisha gam hula l'kein, also that it will be used that for Kedusha.
But the mother first did the possibility gam hu
good, but it's
over here it comes out with that.
it's so. But the pasuk, and I guess in Teichen Indian, it's one pasuk. One thing reflects on that. One more word in Drush, just to accept safer. I said an interesting word. He says, why when Moshiach comes, are we gonna learn Torah over there? It's an interesting example in Drush. He said people when it comes to the theaters and comes to the circuses, people go crazy about it. They spend who knows how much money. Today the biggest clip in America the whole year they're worried about the Super Bowl and when the season starts and the season finishes and who's playing now against who. It's a whole so Moshiach will come, will learn Torah in those places. So to use a Musar Haskell, the same energy that you invested in sports and following the last game and so on and so forth. So V'nisha gam l'keinu, use it out in Kedusha. You'll be following the latest Shir and Brachas and Shabbos and Chassidus and Torah. Look at the You understand? So in other words, it's easy. It's an interesting word. He was saying, we'll use it as a Musar Haskell then. To take that energy, that he put it in Torah. Fine, Adkan.
Why can't you say simple?
Yeah.
Say behind. Moshiach comes, the ganze Sache, and the only thing is to know about Hashem. It's not with ganz Ashir sitting 10 people. Ashir is going to be thousands. People are not going to be busy at work. So you need big halls, you need big stadiums.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Das ist Pasha teaching. Das ist Pasha teaching him on.
That's small shul, it's going to be in stadiums. All the shurim. But it's going to come there. It's going to be shul.
Einer Chanami, but there's not only the kamos, it's also the echos. There's a certain
it's going to be manyan. It's going to be whatever.
I'm saying the same way people who run trade the stadiums will have the same type of for Kedusha.
The whole union is Leida es Hashem. You're not going to be busy making a living. Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, good. Fine. So this is I have to say Indian based Abchira. Yeah. I also have to say Indian based Abchira. you have in halacha. I mean, the Rambam doesn't speak so much in Hilchos Beis Abchira directly about this, but um, you have the size of Yerushalayim and the Beis Hamikdash. Beis Hamikdash is the Yerushalayim, but the size of Yerushalayim will be much bigger when Mashiach comes. And what Rambam does bring in Hilchos Beis Abchira in Perek Zayin, Rambam speaks about honor of the Beis Hamikdash, and he said that at the time the Beis Hamikdash stood, according to the sheet of the Rambam, there's a place called Seifim. Seifim is a place where you could see the Beis Hamikdash. So from that place on, you have to be careful not to go to the bathroom. Certain things you have to do to show honor for the Beis Hamikdash. Now, there's a interesting Gemara. The Gemara says, a number of Gemaras that speak about how when Mashiach will come, Yerushalayim will expand. So there's one Gemara in Masechta Pesachim. The Gemara says, the pasuk that says, "Voyal Matzilei Sasus Kodesh La Hashem." There's different explanations. One explanation, the Gemara says, as Rabbi Shua ben Levi said, that when Mashiach will come, the city, the parameters of Yerushalayim will expand. At Shasha Sus Ratzum Meitzel. What means that Shasha Sus Ratzum Meitzel means like this. During the day, there's a person walks, or an animal walks, there's a shade, there's a shadow. Based on the direction of the sun, the shadow is either to the east or to the west. At midday, the shadow of everything is right underneath it. When the person walks, the shade doesn't go behind him or ahead of him. It's right under, it's right under him because the sun is right on top of his head. So it says, when Mashiach will come, the city of Yerushalayim will expand the amount that a horse could run a half a day, from the beginning of the day until midday, where the shade of the horse is under itself. So So the Marsha says the Ma'anaf Kamina about this expansion of Yerushalayim. The Marsha says because the halachas, let's say certain karbonas, certain things you're only allowed to eat in Yerushalayim. So it says when Mashiach will come, will expand. You'll be able to eat it up until that area. There are many other midrashim speaking about how big Yerushalayim will be. I mean, there's one place that says Yerushalayim will reach until Damascus. You all know that midrash, I'm sure, by now. And there's other midrashim that say Yerushalayim will be as big as Eretz Yisrael. Yeah. So how does this fit with this Gemara? So one answer depends what period you're talking about. And there's other answers as well. One simple answer depends when. First it'll only expand this much, and it'll expand more. So there's an interesting point here that the Rogachover says, Chassam Sofer says, he says the reason why there's a certain kedusha, whether in time the Beis Hamikdash, even now maybe, but that from Tzofim, from the place we're able to see the Beis Hamikdash, there already was a certain covered of the Beis Hamikdash. He says, he connects the two things together. He says, the Rogachover says that this area of Shasus Ratzum Meitzel, he says like 16 meal. 16 meal is, each meal is 2,000 amas, so it's, I'm not good at this. There's 32, a meal less than a mile. What's going on? Oh, okay, so you're going to have, is it still going? Fine. So a meal is so it's going to be 16 meal ladach. So he says that amount is also the amount he brings that you could see in the distance. He brings it in Gemara 16 meal. It also depends obviously on the region with mountains. So he says now that area that we're only able to see Yerushalayim, so there was certain covered or certain halachas, you find certain things that had halachas. Because the fact that we're able already to see Yerushalayim gave it a certain kedusha, a certain weight of the mikdash. It says when Mashiach will come, that place is going to be mamre, because now it's only more you see Yerushalayim. When Mashiach will come, that place will mamre become part of Yerushalayim. So he connects the two, that in other words, the fact that we're able to see Yerushalayim from there already gives it a certain, makes it in the part of Yerushalayim. Elamai now, Bisman, as it's only, it has Kedusha Lagapi, how much you have to honor the Beis Hamikdash, so on and so forth. Mashiach will come, will tackle come Parv Yishlaim. The kid is will sein take it from Yad Mamish.